right, weather waves, you can lose your compass.
So is it something you crave? Do you want to do it more?
You turn this off so you hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
When are you going to go back?
It depends on when the waves and the weather cooperate, but
January 15th, right? 2
I
o'clock.
wish it were so simple, right?
Yeah. How's it compared to Mavericks?
It's a shiftier wave, it doesn't break. Mavericks is pretty concise, where you know it's going to break 10 feet within a certain area. You just know it always breaks there. With Cortez, the waves they're not slowing down, so they can break within 40 to 50 yards from where the last one broke, and it doesn't matter what size or anything. It's totally different. It's definitely a faster moving, less controlled. It's way more wild. It's crazy. It's hard to explain.
And you don't see any land. I mean, there's nothing to even gauge the height.
Nothing in sight. You've got a big bell buoy on the inside, and that's it. When you're out there paddling, the only reference you have are the lobster traps that they've set out there to line up off of. And even then, as Kenny was saying, it shifts so much that that's what really sort of separates it from a lot of the other big waves that we surf, where there's a relatively defined lineup. Where Mavericks, there's an extremely defined lineup. There's essentially kind of 3 different peaks that it can break on depending on the tide and the swell direction, and it can shift in and out, up to a couple hundred yards. We've been out there paddling, and come over the top of the wave, and the next wave's already breaking 100 yards outside of you, where you're typically not going to get that at. And same thing as you were saying before, laterally it'll move across the reef, up to a quarter mile. I mean, when we were paddling the first time, there's a whole separate peak about a quarter mile outside and farther up the reef that guys are actually had paddled up there to surf. And then there's kind of the main inside bowl, which is typically what we're on, and on that particular day, the guys were riding waves nearly all the way through. So it's just a lot of luck involved when you're out there.
Is this scary?
Yeah, terrifying. It's,
and you don't say that about too much, right?
Yeah, I mean, all big waves are scary to me. I think when you lose that sense of fear, you've almost lost the sense of respect for the ocean, the amount of power that it has out there. And, especially being out there in the middle of the ocean, if anything goes wrong out there, it's serious consequences. And so, it just adds to kind of the whole heightened excitement of it all.
Thanks.